All right.
You ready?
Fuck it. Are you unavailable? I got available for you.
This is available?
This is
Evan Williams.
this is goddamn available.
Evan Williams is everywhere. I am surprised they were allowed to put any color wax on the bottle and not get sued by Maker's Mark.
Yeah, you know what you aren't allowed to do?
What? You
You aren't allowed to have the drips drip down. They actually have to dip it in there and then hold it that way.
So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to say it's illegal for any other distillery to get bad haircuts.
Then we're gonna start suing people based on their employee profile photos.
Like, what do you mean? My wife cuts my hair. It's garbage.
Yeah, it's garbage, and that's copyright infringement. No longer is a mullet, just a mullet.
So Evan Williams is categorized as
A bourbon.
a bourbon.
Now, this is
man.
a classic
Smells-
bourbon. I mean,
smells
Evan
really
Williams on the shelf is a budget line, but this is their single barrel release. If for those who are interested, this was barreled on 2009 and bottled in 2016. Switch, do the math. That's a 7-year-old whiskey.
So, proof?
This is 43.3% alcohol.
43.
And barrel number 23.
So single barrel release. What does that mean?
It means they took only one barrel
Yeah.
and bottled just what was in that.
You just said this was easy to get, but
No.
now you're telling me there's only one barrel's worth.
What I'm saying is Evan Williams single barrel is on every shelf in America
So there's
that
different-
has a whiskey.
So there's different barrels
Yes.
of the single barrel.
Yes.
So it's not like they did one run of one barrel.
Right, you may not get our barrel, but you're gonna get Evan Williams single barrel.
Okay.
Right.
Now, how much variation can one expect to find
Well,
from barrel to barrel?
mainly it's gonna be on how old it is, because their warehouse, they're moving, shifting, and so they're keeping consistent profiles, but you know, time is the big change. And originally when they released this, I think it was 10 years old. So you might end up with a 10-year-old single barrel. Ours is 7.
All right, so on the nose, this is,
Quintessential bourbon.
yeah, this is a really nice, I'm loving the nose on this. The Evan Williams, I think, is one of these whiskeys that, because it's so big, it probably doesn't get as much respect
As it should.
If it was a smaller craft,
I
harder
tend to prefer
get.
this to Old Forester, and
Okay.
Old Forester is way more famous.
Okay. Yeah, I think if this was like a harder to get whiskey, it's good enough that people would absolutely adore this thing. And
Now, all I wrote down for the nose was oak and vanilla.
oh,
And then the taste added a little bit of cinnamon.
man, that sugared oak.
Yeah.
Oh. So I think, if I recall correctly, I remember you saying you don't like a lot of oak forward whiskeys. Mm-hmm. To me, this is really oaky, but it doesn't go overboard.
I agree.
Okay.
This one presents the right amount of wood notes with the cinnamon, vanilla. This is horchata.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
No,
You never had horchata? Cinnamon milk? It's Mexican cinnamon milk.
I haven't.
Ah,
Sounds delightful.
it's slightly creamy, right? It's got cinnamon. I'm looking up a recipe.
I'm getting that bourbon sherry note now. Bourbon sherry, and now that I'm getting used to it, it's starting to taste a bit more thin. I'm acclimating to the flavors. It's getting a little bit more thin. More cherry than apple. You'll often find apple in bourbons. This is oak, this is cherry, this is a sweet whiskey.
So,
As bourbons usually
horchata is basically rice, milk, vanilla, and cinnamon. And to me, that's this bourbon.
The more I drink this, the more cherry it gets.
You know what would be interesting? To actually, you know how White Russians are just cream, vodka, and Kahlua?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know about White Russians?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude rides.
Imagine if you made a White Russian, left the Kahlua out entirely.
There's a beverage here, man.
Yeah. Left the Kahlua out entirely because you don't need the sugar. And added just Evan Williams and cream on the rocks. I'm willing to bet, you know what? I'm gonna make one right now.
Do it right now. I'm saying this while you do that.
Oh, we're almost out of ice.
While I was nosing this, I was getting a lot more complexity. I was getting almost like a nuttiness, which you know I love. I love the nuts.
Love those nuts.
Crave the nuts. Big fan of the nuts. The more I drink this, the fewer and fewer notes I'm able to pull out of it. It's changing pretty drastically. Now it's just a dominant sweet cherry and a little bit of oak. I'm thinking I'm acclimating to Evan Williams single barrel in a way that the more predictable flavors are left, and the stuff that I was really excited about with the nosing and then the first taste, first sips, those are kind of falling into the background. Still nice though, but not as exciting as the first few sips. What are you doing?
I'm making a bourbon horchata.
Okay. I'm pulling up a question.
You ready?
Randomly.
Look.
Oh.
I think that needs a little more bourbon.
That looks all kinds of interesting. Hold it so people can see.
I ran out of ice, so it's low on ice. But
all right, random question from the Whiskey Tribe. We got go away.
oh yeah,
Scroll.
that'll do.
Stop. I'm gonna try that. Stuart McCreary. Okay, is it a Texas whiskey drink? Is it a Texas whiskey drinking dropped on your head at youth thing? A put on affection for the people, or just an adorable Daniel idiot? Somebody's been drinking some whiskey.
Yeah, no kidding.
Come on, Stuart. Why the heck
is he asking?
Why the heck does Daniel add a K sound at the end of words that end with G?
Dude,
That's so true.
people give me shit about that all the time. I don't know.
Daniel, is it annoying?
It's not like that. You got to say the G before the K. Annoying.
Annoying?
It's annoying.
Okay.
No, what it is
it-
I pronounce the G aggressively.
Is it frustrating?
No. Here's what it is. I don't say a
frustrating?
K. I pronounce the G, strong G ending, which other people hear phonetically as K.
You know, normal healthy adults that know how to speak the English language just say ing
That's where I'm going.
instead of ing.
I'm going.
Going.
Yeah, going.
You know what?
I'm going.
I have a theory.
But people hear that as a K sound.
Here's my theory.
I'm overpronouncing
You
the G.
so desperately want to fill up as much of the conversation with your own voice that you will even add syllables to words just to suck up that airtime.
That's called the entire South, evidently.
That's really annoying.
Try that. I'm telling you, it's pretty good.
It needs cinnamon.
Yeah, it does need cinnamon.
It needs cinnamon.
If only we had cinnamon.
All right, one more. We'll do Jeremy Sims here. Well, I guess the only question I'd have is, has Rex found himself doing thing faster now that he's more aerodynamic from the waxing?
You walk faster?
Right. Just streak through it.
Yeah. I'm gonna bet yes.
We don't have cinnamon here. You know what we do have?
Huh.
We have some cookies that we can crumble in it.
No, those aren't. None of those are cinnamon.
Oh. Well.
They're all fruit bars and things like that. Oh well.
Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight, may you fight for a friend. If you steal, may you steal a lover's heart. And if you drink, may you drink with us.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us in the Whiskey Vault. Don't forget to throw in a like, hit that subscribe button on the bottom right, and drop a question or comment down below.